our last two speakers, and if I could, just so we definitely want to have time for folks, I'm going to read some of their questions, but there may be some additional questions, so please leave some time for them. If I could go to Chief Kirk.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here today, and certainly I'm the lone cop in the room, I guess. But you know, when the legislature or other bodies create laws, it's our job to have to enforce those, whether we agree with them or not. But when we go through it, that process, what we have to do is we have to work with our community. And I come from a community, it's Nogales, and people want to believe that, you know, they're on the border. They're not on the border, I'm on the border. I'm on the border every day, I see what goes on there. My community is 98% Hispanic, and my staff is 95% Hispanic. And so I know what the community is facing, and I know what the issues are. And certainly the issues that have been brought up about fear reporting crime is one of the significant things that we have to look at as law enforcement professionals. Because when these laws are enacted, and the example would be that, okay, there's a neighbor and they're illegal. The neighbor that is legal will come in and he can say, hey, they're not illegal. I can victimize this person and they're not going to report it. And that's a very significant thing for law enforcement to have to deal with when you have somebody that is so fearful that they'll be a victim. And we have to work together to make sure that those things are in place where they can rely on law enforcement to go after those people that want to victimize people no matter their status. I mean, those things are our primary law enforcement is to uphold the law, yes, but we also are to reduce fear of crime and victims of crime. And that's what we need to work on. You've heard things about the border and the war zone, and the media has brought up that the border has all these issues, and the majority of those issues facing the border are directed at law enforcement. Last week we had a Border Patrol agent that fired at suspects that had come across the border. All of these incidents aren't reported in the media, but they happen on a daily basis. And Nogales as a community, the crime rate since I started down there, it's been about a year and a half, has dropped 11%, and those are major felony crimes. And while we see crime dropping across the United States, it's significant for the border because they're bringing all these issues out that it's a war zone. For the average community down there on the border on the U.S. side, it's safer than walking in Phoenix because we don't have those crimes that occur there on a regular basis. Our law enforcement is committed and very in tune with the community and what's important. We have all kinds of programs that bring in things like anonymous tips. We work very well with the Border Patrol and the other federal agencies that are right there. And we also have school programs where we bring in the issues about being involved in smuggling and those things that do occur. And when law enforcement gets involved, it's usually we're dealing with these smuggling operations that are trying to get and bring in their product because of the demand in the United States. We need to look at what is affecting that supply, and certainly the United States is responsible because we are the demand. You lower the demand, the supply is going to get lower.